What's good, beautiful people? It's your boo, it's your bae, it's your favorite entrepreneur, your hoe, Danny No Panties. And today we are going to switch it up a little bit. I know that previously I've been talking about cam modeling and tips for new cam models, but I think we should incorporate some new stuff because one of the things that has been challenging for me is coming up with new content ideas for this channel. There's already so many people who are talking about cam tips, and even though I've been doing cam for like 15 years, I just feel like there's not a lot of new stuff that I can say. I would love to incorporate some digital marketing stuff because I do work in digital marketing. I've had a digital marketing agency since 2018. And I also would love to start talking about pop culture because I am really into pop culture. I love me some juicy celebrity gossip and the things that's happening. I love talking about it. So I think we're going to incorporate that into the channel. So with that being said, today I would love to talk about how I'm making money online as a spicy content creator and offer some tips for folks who are either getting started or just need some new ideas on how to generate income. So let's get into it. If I had to start my OnlyFans over completely, these are the things that I would do. First, I would make sure that my Twitter presence is bomb. Take a lot of really hot photos. I would recommend, because of the way that that man who owns Twitter is running things over there, I would actually recommend that you take a lot of like safe for work photos and use those to market yourself. And also it'll be easier for you to repurpose those photos for Instagram, for, Reddit, wherever you're going to be posting. Personally, if I had to do it all over again, that's what I would do. I'd invest in some cute outfits, like things that show off your body, but in a way that is still very safe for work. I would have a bunch of photos with a few different outfits like that. And then I would also have some with like some lingerie, maybe a little more revealing, some like cheeky, some booby kind of photos, you know what I mean? Not booby, but like boobalicious. And we'll strategically incorporate those when it's time. So I would schedule my content using some sort of scheduler, whether you're scheduling directly in Twitter or you're using Later or something like that. I think you need to schedule your content. And keep in mind, if you are just getting started, you need to have a separate profile for all of these social channels, specifically for your spicy stuff. So let's say your username, I don't know, Bunny Daniels. Okay, so you need to have Bunny Daniels on IG, on Twitter, on Reddit. It needs to be the same name, or at least as close as possible, for branding purposes, and so that your fans can easily find you on other platforms. So let's say you're Bunny Daniels on Twitter. You've scheduled your tweets, so you maybe have some cute, fun, flirty, engaging tweets, and then you have maybe some tweets that show your personality, maybe post some opinions about things happening in the world, and then also promote, okay? You need to be scheduling these all throughout the day, because remember that you never know when your fans are online. So you want to make sure that you can hit them at all points throughout the day and evening, right? So schedule your posts as much as possible. So that's why like batching content is so important. So let's say you have a day in the week where, let's say it's a Sunday, you're like, I got time today, let me get myself dolled up and spend a few hours taking photos that I can use throughout the week, right? So you want to take photos. I like to, when I'm making content, I try to take photos and take videos, and it's usually like promote videos. So like, things that are just like sexy, cute, short clips that you can use across different platforms. So I would do that. I would be consistent with that. And then I would make sure that I have a link of some sort, like I personally use Fanberry, but like all my links or something like that, where you can put all of the links to all of the places that you are online. So for me, I have like my cam sites, I have my clip stores, I have my Twitter, my OnlyFans, my wish list, like all of that stuff is in the link. So that way they can easily find me on the internet. So make sure your profile's complete. Focus on what sets you apart. Are you curvy? Are you queer? Are you tattooed? Like, what are the things are you goth? Like, what sets you apart? That would also be maybe a keyword that people who might be looking for you could find you. You have your social media profile set up, you're scheduling your content, you're batch creating your content. And so when it comes to OnlyFans, it's the same concept. You need to be batching content, scheduling your content, and engaging with your audience. You got to build consistency with this. And so for me, as someone who's neurodivergent, I struggle with consistency. So scheduling things helps a lot, especially when I first got started on OnlyFans. I would schedule my content a week out. So I'd have my Titty Tuesday post. I'd have my like happy Friday post, you know? So I would schedule all that out in advance. And I also started incorporating more recently posting to Reddit. And I have seen a slight increase from Reddit, but I actually find that I get more subscribers from my like other social media platforms. So like from TikTok, from even on my cam shows. I'll promote my Twitter on my in my cam shows. Um, Specifically, you need to know which cam sites allow you to talk about OF, because some platforms don't want you to talk about OnlyFans. So like on Chaturbate, you can talk about OnlyFans. On Cam Soda, you cannot. So I, on Cam Soda, will direct them to my Twitter and encourage them to explore the links in my bio. With that being said, also remember that documenting your life, like behind the scenes stuff, is content. You can record yourself brushing your teeth. You can record yourself getting dressed for the day. You record yourself, getting dressed for the gym, things like that. Like you can use a lot of stuff as content, and I do struggle with that sometimes. Of remembering that you can just document your day-to-day stuff, and the guys want to see that. Well, it's not just guys, but the folks on your OF and your spicy sites want to see that. Another tip that I do have, I might be all over the place. I haven't taken my ADHD meds, so bear with me. But another tip that I have for you is make sure you're on multiple platforms. I actually cannot stress that enough, because if something were to happen to your OF, let's say you may post something that's out of the terms of service or whatever, you mess up, your OF gets Thanos'd, then you need to have some backups. So I'm personally on OnlyFans, I'm on Fansly, I'm on SextPanther, I'm on ManyVids, I'm on Loyal Fans, I'm on I Want Clips. Now, am I able to post consistently to all of these platforms all the time? No. But I do try to show up every week to those platforms and post something on there and have it spread out so that I'm still generating some sort of income. You know what I mean? So that's very helpful for me personally. Next up, you want to go ahead and make sure that you are cross promoting everything. So on your Twitter especially, make sure that you have scheduled posts, or that you're posting, letting people know where you are online so that they can go support you. Post your teasers, post your selfies, post all the things. Post a lot, and don't be afraid to be salesy. You cannot make money if you are not telling them what you're selling, okay? Let's talk about pricing real quick. So I think if you're just getting started out, you want to price your page lower, especially if you don't have a huge following on social media yet. Price it lower, and then do pay per view. So let's say you're charging like $4, $3 a month on OnlyFans or whatever VIP site. Make a 10 to 20 minute high quality, well lit, super hot video that's catered to the likes and desires of your fans, right? And you sell that in the DMs or on your page. The way I usually price my clips, I'll price it like $2 per minute. So let's say if I have a 6-minute clip, I'm charging $12 for the clip usually. I think that that's like a really good way to approach it initially. Really focus on promoting, have really great quality photos and videos, and be consistent. Show up consistently, and don't get discouraged if the money isn't what you want it to be initially. It does take time. There is this idea that OnlyFans models make a ton of money. I don't make a ton of money on OnlyFans. It fluctuates a lot, depending on how much I'm promoting it, depending on how much I'm showing up on my other sites, like on my cam sites and stuff like that. So it fluctuates a lot for me. I actually find that I make most of my money on SextPanther and on Chaturbate. That's where I'm making the most money online right now. So those are the sites that I like to put the most energy into. Also, make sure that you are offering a variety of things. So offering customs, offering dick ratings. You can sell panties if you feel comfortable with that. You can sell shoes, socks, like whatever your audience seems to be into, cater your offerings to them, okay? And also you can do a poll. Ask them what they want to see from you. Ask them what they're interested in. I do that sometimes just to get an idea of what they want, and also to get some new content ideas. I hope that helps. If you do have any other questions, please make sure to leave them down below and I will address them in the next video. Additionally, if you are a new spicy content creator, I have an Etsy store that has some low-cost digital resources for you to help you figure out how to get started with your spicy hustle. So definitely check that out in the description. Next, let's talk about some of this celebrity foolishness that's happening in the news right now. So I had to take a break and come back. Also, it looks like I'm naked. Hold on, let me fix this camera. It looks like I don't got no shirt on. Making videos is hard. Anyway, I'm about to get on Cam, so this is the shirt that I'm gonna wear for Cam. I'm re-recording the second half, okay? As I was editing it, I was like, I'm missing a lot of information. I also didn't take my ADHD meds today either. Let me go do that. Hold on. Okay. Medicine is in my body. So for the like celebrity pop culture news kind of stuff, I really would like for it to be like more of a focus on music stuff. And of course, like the big news that's happening in pop culture, but I think it's gonna be some music because I'm a music lover. If you don't know me, one thing you need to know is that I'm a music lover, music head, okay? I'm listening to anything from jazz to funk to bachata to dance hall to like classic reggae, classic 80s R&B, Motown. Like I'm listening to so much. Music is just really so important to me. So I think it's going to be through focus of music. So let's get into it. The first thing I want to talk about is Doechii's album because holy mother, she put her whole foot in that thing. It's so good. No skips. It's really good for my stemming, like my autism stemming, because of TikTok, and there's this one particular clip from Nissan Altima that's like, put the motherfucking money in my motherfucking hand. I've been singing that back to back to back to back. Also, I really like boom bap, and there's something about anxiety too. It's really good. Also, you might hear my dryer in the background, and I'm so sorry. I'm not gonna turn it off because I need some stuff in there to dry, like right now. So anyway, I've already been a fan of Doechii, but I feel like this mixtape makes me understand her more as an artist. And also, I can hear so clearly what her influences were. I'm hearing Busta, I'm hearing Missy, I'm hearing Wu-Tang. I'm hearing so many influential hip-hop and rap artists that are like culminating in this dope-ass, gorgeous-ass woman. And she sings. Oh my God. I wish nothing but the best for her in her career. Like, she's what we needed. She's what hip hop needed. And anybody who's sleeping on her needs to wake the fuck up. Okay? Okay. Next subject. Do you know Tito Jackson died? Tito Jackson died, child. I don't got much to say on it other than that September has been really fucking raggedy. It took Rich Homie Quan, it took Frankie Beverly, and now it took Tito Jackson. It also took some other people, but they've been problematic, so I'm not gonna mention them. But Tito Jackson, all these greats, and also the fact that his mama has outlived several of her kids. That's so sad. You think Michael was on the other side and he was like welcoming Tito to the other side? I think so. And that's kind of a beautiful thought, you know? But rest in peace to that man. So iconic, has done so much for music, especially black music. So very, very sad indeed. The next thing I want to talk about is Fuhad and James. I personally don't listen to their podcast, but I've seen some of their clips. And the reason that I kind of enjoyed their dynamic initially was because I saw a clip where they were exchanging gifts, and it seemed like they really enjoy each other's company. Like, they are really good friends, and it seemed like it wasn't it was not like a toxic masculinity thing. You know what I mean? So I enjoyed that part of it. But now, since they've had this interview, not only were they said that they didn't see no baddies in ATL. What you mean you ain't seen no baddies in ATL? ATL is Black Baddie Mecca. You didn't see no baddies? Check your eyesight. What's wrong with you? And then they sat on that white man's podcast and let that white man say all this racist stuff about black women. And they could have deaded that shit immediately. They could have been like, no, actually, what are you talking about? Why is that funny? You know what I mean? But they laughed. They laughed. They went along with the white man's racist bullshit about black women. And then that belly laugh confirmed that how they felt about black women. And then in their apology, James was talking about oh, well, I didn't realize that being part of the culture that we could harm it. What are you talking about? That doesn't make sense. But also the fact that you are technically supposed to be from part of black culture, which you're not. You're obviously not. You ain't down. You ain't gang. Because if you were, you would not have let that man talk crazy about black folk like that. That's kind of like the whole point, is that if you really fucked with black women like that, then protecting them would come naturally to you. And that comment would not have elicited such a deep belly laugh. The fact that they laughed is very telling and tells us how they feel about black women, which is predominantly their audience, which I did not realize that because I don't listen to their podcast. So I had no idea that it was mostly black women listening to their podcast. I thought it was like black men from like across the pond who are listening to their podcast. It's black women. Imagine my surprise. I was like, wow, you really doubly fucked up, because not only did you prove that you don't fuck with black women on more than one occasion, you just offended your whole fan base. Sucks to be you. Oh, and then there was some comment that was made about like Nigerians, and Fuhad is Nigerian. So he not only offended black women, but also Nigerians. Damn, son. They need to do better. Is it gonna mess up their bag? Maybe a little bit, but they're still gonna have the majority of their audience. You know what I mean? Like, they're still gonna have listeners. People are still gonna tune in. I think people are gonna be quick to forgive them, because that's just how shit goes. But hopefully they learn. Hopefully they do better. You know? And that apology that they gave was ass. It was straight booty cheeks. But next subject. Oh, let's talk about Gorillaz. Let's talk about Gorillaz for a second, because the VMAs were recently, and while I won't do a deep dive on VMAs right now, she kind of cleared house for the rap girlies. Like, she won like best performer and won stuff for Yeah Glow, and it's really cool to see her glow up. Like, she started hanging around bad bitches, her fashion got better, her whole vibe is just really like giving bad bitch, and I love it because you can also see it in her performances where her energy is better, like her stage presence is better. Like, it's just so cool to see. I'm really rooting for her. She also, there was a situation where there was a lyric where she used a word that was offensive, and she immediately changed the lyrics so that it wasn't offensive anymore. And it's like, yes, girl, you're not fucking around. We fuck with that. I like that, because some folks, some artists previously, when they've had a lyric that was problematic, the artist doubled down and further alienated themselves from some of their fan base. So for Gorillaz to change that means that she's not only listening to her audience, but she cares, and she's not trying to let anything mess up her steady upward trajectory. So I really fuck with that, and I wish her all the best. So yeah, I think that's gonna... Oh, we need to talk about the Diddler. We need to talk about the Diddler. I had started recording something about this yesterday, and then my brain turned off. So, trigger warning for those who may not want to listen to this. If it's triggering for you, I understand. Now's your time to click out, and thank you so much for watching, okay? They just found 1,000 bottles of lube and baby oil in his house, and the internet is very fixated on that number. I first want to say, before I talk about them bottles, is that all of the details coming out about what he's done to Cassie and his other victims, and potentially what was going on at these sex parties where he was abusing people, it's horrific. It's all horrific. And he deserves to be in jail for the rest of his life. Prison for the rest of his life, okay? That being said, 1,000 bottles is absurd. It is an absurd number. And I think that's why we're so fixated on that number, because it's kind of a visual, like, representation of his perversions. You know what I mean? It's like, I knew that Cassie was telling the truth. I believed her the whole time. I believed the survivors. I believed them from the jump. But to see those bottles is like, this has gone on for so long. He has been allowed to do this for so long. Because 1,000 bottles, I would assume, don't just come out of nowhere. You didn't just, you know what I mean? It's just like, this has been an ongoing thing for a long time for you to feel like you need to have backstock. And also, it's like, how many people have you abused in this way? How many of these, I don't even want to call them sex parties for real. I don't want to call them orgies. That's just the only word that I can think of right now. But they're abuse sessions. I don't know what to call them. It's truly horrific. And I really hope that the survivors have some support right now. I hope that they have some sort of solace in knowing that he is in custody and he can't bring any harm to anyone else. You know what I mean? I cannot imagine how triggering all of this is for them. So yeah, that nigga need to be locked up. And I also want to talk about, even I had said this one point, I was like, that freaky ass nigga need to be in jail. But I feel like freakiness does not equal perversion and abusiveness. You know what I mean? Like, we use freaky as a term for someone who likes sex or has a lot of different like sexual interests and stuff like that. Like, he is crossing over. He's a predator. He is a predator. It ain't no freak off. It's predatory, organized abuse. I don't know how else to put it. That's what it is. Fuck him. I hope he goes to jail for the rest of his life. And all the people who helped him also need to go to jail. Okay? Okay. That's all I wanted to talk about today. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this pop culture segment, please comment below. I'm trying not to let this video go for too long, so I'm trying to do quick little pop culture trending news segments. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to follow me on my social media channels. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, and I also just joined Threads, so if you're on Threads, find me on there. If you have any questions about spicy content creation, please leave those questions down below and I will do my best to address them in the next video. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Take care of yourself. Mwah!